All right, so welcome back to Coffee Cafe. We just started our closing process, right? We completed our unadjusted trial balance. And then the last thing that we left off was we actually completed the adjustment journal entries, okay, right here. All right. So we need to verify and confirm that when we do our adjusted trial balance, that everything that we transferred from my adjustments has transferred properly through my ledger, okay? But in this case, you don't need the journals unless there's a problem with your ledger, okay? So in this case, I'm leaving it here for in case I need to make any fixtures or any, things I need to adjust, right? So in this case, I just need my ledger and I need my financial statements or financial forms here to complete my adjusted trial balance. Okay, so right here, I currently have my unadjusted trial balance currently opened up right now. And what I'm going to do is, since I did most of the work, right, all I'm going to really do is I'm going to make a copy of this sheet so that I can go ahead and reuse this platform and just add in what I need to add in and fix the formulas that I need to fix. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click my adjusted trial balance, and notice this, it has the 4 columns. I'm going to go ahead and delete this. Okay, because I can't have two of the same copies of a form in here, or two of the same sheets that have the same name. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and move and make a copy. I want it right above my income statement. Make a copy. Okay, so there you go. Now I have a copy of my unadjusted trial balance. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to rename it. Rename it to adjusted trial balance and get rid of the number. Okay. And I'm also going to make adjustments or change the title here too, because it's not my unadjusted anymore. It's my adjusted for ending on the same date, right? June 30th. So that's all the changes I need to make. Now, let's go ahead and go through every single item on here. So starting with your checking account, which we know it's consistent of my bank account, which is my checking, my petty cash, and my cash in the register. So let's see, do I have any changes to my checking account? I believe I do. Okay, so in this case, I have 10,502.39. Okay, so that adjusted my formula. So remember, by making a copy of this spreadsheet, every formula should still be intact. Okay? If not, just rewrite the formula and enter it again, so then it actually updates what you're doing. So in this case, it already update the checking account balance. Okay? My petty cash is still 500, and my cash in the register is still 310. Okay, so those are fine. No changes there. Okay. Then let's see, what about my accounts receivable? It's currently at $1531.95. However, I also have a contra account. So this one I have to add in here, because what does a contra account do? What does a contra account do? Correct. So in this case, does it increase or decrease my accounts receivable? In this case, it decreases. So the allowance for doubtful accounts will for surely decrease my accounts receivable. Doubtful. ACCT. Right? So in this case, how much am I decreasing my accounts receivable by? $76.60, right? Now in this case, I put it in my credit column because that's true. If I'm doing my regular trial balance, then this account is going to be a credit. But however, for my main account, it's going to be the difference between my two numbers, because my main account is what's I want to calculate. So in this case, because I know for a fact that my main account, if a allowance for doubtful accounts decreases my accounts receivable, then my formula is going to be my accounts receivable minus my contra account. So therefore, for my credits, I currently have, for my debits account right here, for my accounts receivable, I currently have for the main account $1,455.35, because it's a combination between the two. That's what I want my main account to reflect, is what is my grand total overall, including the calculation for anything such as a contra account. So in this case, boom, I actually only have $1,455.35. Even though if I actually look at my accounts individually, I still have the $1,531.95 pending in my account receivable. This is just an estimated amount that could potentially be bad debt for the $76.60. Okay? So I'm okay there now. So let's see what's next. Next we have here are my business supplies. I for surely adjusted my business supplies, right? So let's see, my medium cups, I currently have $91.70. Okay. My large cups, I currently now have $216.65. Okay. My sugar, I currently have $21.60. Okay. And lastly, my creamer, I have a total of $179.63. So in grand total, I only have $509.65 worth of business supplies left remaining, right? And of course, when we add in another account, right, for my business supplies, or in this case, it'd be cost of materials, it should equal out however many you subtracted from the business supplies, okay? Because that's what we did, right? We adjusted our business supplies by doing it through the cost of material. Okay? So let's see what's next. Office supplies. Office supplies. Yes, I end up adjusting it. I no longer have 150. I have only 80 remaining. Okay? So in this case, let's see what's next. Next is inventory. Okay? Here for my regular coffee, it's still at $20.78. My Supreme coffee is still at $133.70. But here's what's different. I now have coffee mugs. So therefore, I need to add this into my inventory, right? So I'm going to add it right above my furniture account. And this is for ceramic coffee mugs. Okay? How much was that ceramic coffee mugs that I have left remaining in inventory? How much is what's my total value of my ending balance in my coffee mugs? Yes, but what's my total value? I can't journalize 106 cups left. I have $385.66 left in my ceramic coffee mugs. But notice this. How come my formula did not change? In this case, it's because I didn't include that in the formula. So I would have to change this one because I introduced another inventory item. I need to include this as part of the inventory, which will give me a grand total of $540.14. Okay? Because that includes ceramic coffee mugs is part of my inventory. Okay? So there now, that's my total amount, including both Supreme and regular coffees plus the ceramic coffee mugs. Okay? Furniture currently is what outstanding at a grand total of $9,033.75. So that's my current fair market value. I need to know what my book value is because I also had to adjust each item with an accumulated depreciation. Okay? I had to reduce it. So yes, my tables and chairs is still $66.0508. However, I depreciate it for $78.63. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to insert every single one of them separately because I don't have an account called an accumulated depreciation for furniture. Okay, I have it set as individual ones. Okay, so that's going to give you your current book value for all of your furniture. Okay, so you're going to have an accumulated ACUM. So this again is a contra account, depreciation for tables. You have ACUM, depreciation for the counter. You have ACUM, depreciation for the desk. And you also have accumulated depreciation for the shelves. Okay? So in this case, let's go ahead and just map out all of our depreciations first. So in this case, the table, I depreciated it for $78.63. Okay? For my counter, right, because the counter is still at $11.93.22, I depreciated it for $14.21, okay, on the credit side. My desk is still at $58.37, but I depreciated it for $7.84. Okay. And then last one is going to be my display shelves. I currently still have it at $577.08, but because I depreciated it, because I used it for $6.87. Okay. Okay. So how is this formula going to work? Right now, my total balance for my fair market value or my original cost, right, historical cost is currently $9,033.75. That doesn't include my contra account. So now what I want my books to show is the book value after I've depreciated it, right? So what you're going to do is there's two formulas you can do, right? One of them is equal sum your debits minus your equal sum for your credits. I have a difficult time getting that formula right. So in this case, I will do it manually, right? So you don't have to deal with those. You could just manually do one at a time, right? Saying you're going to take this and then you're going to subtract out your depreciation, right? But you're going to add your counter but subtract the depreciation for it. And then you can add your desk and then you can subtract your depreciation for it, and then you can add your display shelves and then subtract out. Or you could go add, and then subtract, right? That it's the same thing, right? I'm just doing it in order exactly how I see it, so I don't lose track of how many I have there. But of course, with Excel, it kind of actually sees, it actually highlights the colors that you are looking for, right? Well, I think I added the last one. Okay, so let me do that formula one more time. Okay, so you're going to start off with your tables, okay, And you're going to add this, but subtract this. You're going to add your desk, subtract the accumulated, add your display shelves, and then subtract your display shelf there. Okay? And you get a total of book value of $8,926.20. Okay? So again, this is adding up all of your accounts, including the contra accounts, which in this case, we talked about this, right? You cannot take the depreciation directly off of the asset itself. You cannot devalue something that you have in your hands, right? So in this case, that's what we do to create the contra accounts, which is the accumulated depreciation. So we keep track of how much of we use that item. And of course, if we choose to sell it, then we mark off that accumulated depreciation and, apply it for the book value. Right? So this is my current book value after using my furniture for 1 whole month. It's now worth $8,926.20 when previously it was $9,033. Okay? So not only do you have to do that to all of your furniture, you're going to have to do that to every single fixed asset that you have calculated. So that means I have to do the same thing for my office equipment, right? So I got a computer, I got a printer, and I got a cash register. So in this case, here's my office equipment, currently at $2863.20. And I'm going to go ahead and start inserting all of my contra accounts in here. So I have one for the computer, one for the printer, and one for the cash register. Okay. So accum depreciation for the computer. Okay. Accum depreciation for the printer. Okay. And I have an accum depreciation for the register. Okay. So let's take a look. What was the accumulated depreciation for my computer? Right now, it's still currently at $1834.84. And my accumulated depreciation I calculated to be $61.16 for my computer. Okay, $61.16. Okay. Next one I have here is my printer at $378.87, and my accumulated depreciation was for $12.63. Okay. And then of course for my cash register, right, it's still at $649.49. My accumulated depreciation is $21.65. Okay. So now, once again, I need to create a formula that includes my contra account. So right now I'm at $28.63. Okay. So once again, I gotta go through this again. So I add my item, and then I subtract the depreciation. So as you can see, adding is going to be all blue. Subtracting, except for this one, subtracting is all red. Okay, so now I have $2,767.76. Okay, that's my current book value for my office equipment. Okay, so I also now have to do it to my regular equipment. Okay. So you can have accumulated depreciation for your brewer, your grinder, and your refrigerator. Okay. Oops, cancel. Okay, there you go. So you have an accumulated Now, can you create an account that has accumulated depreciation for your furniture? Absolutely. Of course. Then you just pile them all up and together into one. But at the end of the day, then you wouldn't know what each book value would be unless you looked at your depreciation tables. At least this one, we'd be able to identify what the depreciation is and how much it was for each item. Yes, I know it's tedious, and yes, I know we have to keep adding a bunch of accounts in here, but at the end of the day, it's just better organization. Again, if you want to, you can just have an overall account if you really wanted to for the accumulated depreciation for fixed assets. Yes, you can just compile all into one and you wouldn't have to go through all these numbers. Okay, so let's start with the accumulated depreciation for my coffee brewers here. So here's my coffee brewer. Okay, just making sure I'm on the right one. Okay, so here's my coffee brewers, right? It's still at a grand total of $4,505. Okay, my accumulated that I calculated was $96.20. Okay, my accumulated for the coffee grinder, right? It's still at $4,145, right? My calculated amount for that was $69 even. Actually, 6909. Ooh, I almost made a typo there. 6909. Okay. Then my refrigerator was still $3,495, and we calculated total accumulated depreciation for $29.13. So $29.13. So once again, formula is going to be my coffee brewers minus depreciation plus my coffee grinder minus the accumulated plus the refrigerator minus the accumulated. And now you're going to get a grand total of $12,144.18. Okay. So then let's see what happens next. Then we have the vehicles, right? Vehicles, this is where vehicles account is going to be different this time because I do have a truck, but my truck also carries an accumulated depreciation. So therefore, I have an ACUM depreciation for my truck. Okay. In this case, it's still at 32,208.90. Okay, and my accumulated depreciation for my truck is $257.67. So what is my total vehicles? In this case, my total book value for my vehicles is going to be this minus my accumulated to give me a grand total of $31,951.23. So that's just calculating my accumulated out of it, my depreciation for my vehicles. Okay. And then, of course, you still have your prepaid accounts, right? Still currently at 6654.17, so that stayed still. My deposit is still at 1700, so that stayed still. Goodwill had an accumulated amortization, so therefore that will decrease the value of my goodwill. So ACUM amort goodwill. So that's going to give me $11.67. So therefore, my Goodwill account is no longer $2,100. It is now actually a grand total of $2,088.33. Okay. Miscellaneous expense, once again, has nothing there. So I finished my assets. Now I need to move on to my liabilities. Okay. Starting with the very first one, we have an accounts payable, right? So my adjustment total is currently at 9,000. Okay, 9,000. $664.81. So 9,664.81. 9,664.81. Okay. My Visa payable, right? Because I received a bill, I should be at 0. Okay. So in this case, that's fine. You can leave it there. I'm just going to put 0 there. Okay. My notes payable is still the same at $649.49, so that didn't change. Right. And then now my total payroll liabilities. Well, we have to include 2 more accounts, right? We got the salaries and wages payable, and we also have the commissions payable. So that's something I need to add into my payroll liabilities. Okay. Salaries and wages payable and commissions payable. Okay. So in this case, let's see. My salaries and wages payable is $12.50 even. And then my commissions payable is $1,087.09. Okay. Now notice this, my payroll liabilities did not budge because this time I put the accounts above the formula that I started. So this one will not include it. So you do have to fix this formula to include that those 2 accounts that you added. So anything that you put above an account, above a formula, will not include. Anything after the formula should include. Okay, so I am going to go all the way down to workers' compensation. Okay, so everything that's included for workers' compensation. So that's salaries, commissions, FITW, FICA, or Social Security, Medicare, FICA, FUTA, SUTA, and workers' comp. Okay, so now I'm at $3,153.03. So let's go ahead and double verify that the rest of the information is still correct. So here I have a total of $225.76, for FITW. For Social Security is at $142.60. My Medicare is still at $33.35. My company FICA is at $175.95. My FUTA is currently at $138 even. My SUTA is still at $69, and my Workers' compensation is still at $31.28. So good. So that's my grand totals there. Okay. Next one is going to be utilities payable. We haven't incurred our utilities bill yet. Okay. Next is unearned revenue, which has no account balance. Then my sales tax payable, is that still the same? Let's see. Sales tax payable, is it still at $2,046.11? Yes, it is. Okay. And then let's see. Aha, we have interest payable now. So I have to include that as part of my liability. So insert for interest payable, okay, which is currently a grand total for 105 and 40 cents. Okay. 105 and 40 cents. And then for my loans, okay, I have a business loan, nothing there, and then my truck loan. I received a bill. So what did I do with this $776.76? I end up transferring it to my accounts payable. So in this case, my loan has now decreased to $28,445.14. Okay, so it's no longer this $29. It's $28,445.14. Okay. And that is it for my liabilities. Next one, equity. Any changes to equity? My owner's equity is still $30,000. My no capital contributions, owner's withdrawal is still $3,000, and no income summary. So we won't actually adjust the equity until we close our books. So in this case, of course, there's no changes there because these will not be affected until we close our books. So that means the next step after the financial statements is actually closing out the books, closing everything out to equity. So in this case, my equity accounts are still the same at $30,000 and the $3,000 owner's withdrawal. Okay. Now we go to revenues. Any changes made to revenues? Let's see. Is my sales for the regular coffee still $13.94? Yes, it is. My Supreme coffee is still at $14.36. Okay. My ceramic coffee mugs is still at $17.63. My medium regular is still at $5,221. My large regular is still at $65.03. Okay. My medium supreme coffee is still at $6,655.77. Okay. And of course, my large supreme is still at $7,524.44. Okay, right. We didn't make any changes to sales because that wasn't under an adjustment we had to make. Okay. So that means same thing will go for my sales returns and allowances for 1996. My sales discount should also be the same at 1900, okay, and 79 cents. Okay. Delivery income is still at $300 and no interest income. So in this case, our revenues are still intact. Okay. Next one we have here is the cost of goods sold. So we have to include the cost of goods sold for our ceramic coffee mugs. So in this case, my regular should still be at $14.06. Okay, and my supreme should still be at $14.86. However, we need to also include as part of the cost of goods sold is the cost of goods sold for the ceramic coffee mugs. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and insert here. Okay, for the cost of goods sold mugs. Okay, and we calculated it for a total of $11.82 and 43 cents. So that means this cost of goods sold now needs to include all three numbers. Okay, for a total of $4,075.07. So again, adding any line above or after a formula will not include it, but if you do it in between, it will work. Okay. All right. So we also have to now create a account for the cost of materials because yes, we adjusted our business supplies. So therefore, we have a new account that we need to add in here for the cost of materials. So again, cost of materials. Okay, so therefore, I know that there was 4 things that I adjusted, right? My medium coffee cups, my large coffee cups, my sugar, and my creamer. Okay, so again, this should be a blue account. Well, let me type in the rest real quick. So COM medium cups, okay, COM large cups, COM sugar, and COM creamer. Okay. So then now this formula, right, is going to include, since it's a brand new account, is going to include all of these 4 items here. Okay. And I'm going to change this to the blue color. Okay. So the first one here for the cost of materials for the medium coffee cups, right, gave me a grand total of $287.10. $287.10. Okay. Next one is going to be for the large cups, which cost me $351.68. Okay. And then we also have one for the sugar for $43.20. And then last but not least, we also have one for the coffee creamer for $359.26. Okay, giving me a grand total of cost of materials to be $1,041.24. Okay. Now, last but not least is going to be my expenses tab. Okay, so let's take a look at my expenses. So we're going to go through them one at a time. Okay, so first one I have here is advertising, which is still at $185. Bank fees. Oh, I do have bank fees now, so I need to insert a row there to insert my bank fees. Okay. Which currently is at $100 for the service charge. Okay. We also now need to also include here, right? My business expense has increased, right? It is now $1,282.78. Okay. My freight expense has zeroed out. So therefore, my freight expense is now 0. Okay. Next I have here is my interest expense. So that is something that's new as well. wait, actually, it goes insurance and then interest. Insurance expense is at $395, so that's still the same. Under that is my interest expense. So under insurance is going to be interest expense. Right? Which is right now currently at 105 and 40 cents. Okay. Labor expense is still that $18.90 plus my $360. Okay, so still at that $2,250. Okay. Next is my license and permit expense, still at $375. Loss on disposal of asset is still $2,000. Okay. Office supplies expense, right? That's something I need to include in here, is my office supplies expense. Okay. For a grand total of $70. Okay. What else is there? Payroll expenses. So again, salaries and wages expense has increased because we had to accrue. So it is now valued at $3,550. Okay. My commissions expense has also increased for the accrual for Albert here for $1647.75. Okay. And then of course payroll taxes is still at $414. No, how come this? I didn't see it change. So let me run my formula one more time. There you go. So $5,611.98 is my current payroll expenses. Okay. Next one I have here is my purchase expense, which is zeroed out. Okay, so purchase expense is now 0 because we did our conversion entry, right? We emptied out all of these accounts. Okay, so therefore, my purchase returns and allowances is also zeroed out. Okay, and my purchase discount is also zeroed out. Okay, so right now, my total purchases is 0. Okay. Next I have here is rent expense, still at $1,500. Okay. Travel expenses is still at $271.7. Okay. And then last but not least, I need to do we don't have any utilities payable, but we do have bad debt, depreciation, and amortization. So I need to add 3 more rows. So 1, 2, and 3. So 1 for bad debt, depreciation, and amortization. Okay. So in this case, okay, so bad debt was for a grand total of $76.60. So in this case, I have to re-enter the formula, just fine. My depreciation is for $655.08. Okay. And last but not least, my amortization was for the $11.67. So in this case, I do have to redo my formula because my formula does not include the last 3 things that I added in there. So therefore, let me go ahead and redo my formula here. So equals sum all of these numbers here. So it's quite a lot of accounts we just looked at. Okay. So this one gives me a grand total of 10, 105, 56, and 87. And I'm going to copy this formula all the way through. And says here that I am even for the debit accounts, but I'm not even for my main accounts. Oh, I'm off by $192.40 for my credit account, my main account. So I got to figure that out. Okay. Okay. So my debits and credits match, but my main accounts don't. That is weird. If my debits and credits match, but my main accounts don't match, something went wrong. So we are short by $192.40 on the main side. We have less on the credit side than it is on my debit side. But my debits and my credits match. Okay, let's see. Let's go through. Did I copy every formula correctly? Let's see. This should equal my checking, petty, and cash account. That should be equal to the difference between the two here. Okay. This is equal to my medium, large, sugar, and creamer account. Okay. This should be equal to my supplies. This should equal to my regular, supreme, and coffee mugs. Okay. Let's do this. Okay. Just going through my formulas real quick to make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, $192.40. What does that sound like? Anybody have any guesses?
I think that fixed it.
What was that?
Because you went from 12,000 something to 11 something.
For which one?
For the furniture or the equipment.
Let's see. So now that I changed the formula, does it pan out even? Oh, there you go. Thank you. Good. So there you go. So I just messed up my formula there. So there you go. Now they pan out even both main accounts and all the accounts. Okay, so that's what you have to do when you're trying to do this, because again, it's going to make the financial statements much easier and more concise instead of having all this clutter. So again, now that we completed our adjusted trial balance, yes, your main account's going to include formulas that can, you know, include the contra accounts, which will decrease the main account. Okay? So yay, we match at a grand total main account of $104,864.47. And your total debits and credits are going to be $105,607.87. Okay? So any questions in regards to the adjusted trial balance? So that means we did our adjustments correctly and transferred them to my ledger correctly. Yay! Any questions?